Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and in today's video we are out in my garage and we are doing some last minute prep for back to school. I can't believe we are weeks away from the school year starting. It is bananas. So we are working on a fun little wall tree here in my garage. Now this has been a project that we have been working on for a long time, probably for 2 years. Other projects came, to be more important. Also, my house is very, very busy. So for those of you who don't know, my husband and I are both public educators. I am a school counselor. He is a special ed teacher. We have 5 amazing kiddos, 2 in high school, 2 in middle school, 1 in elementary. Our daughter will be a senior this year, our first senior ever. And we have a lot of things that go on in our house. Danny and I both work on after school committees. We're very active in our schools. We also have very active kiddos, sports running from dance, football, cheer this year, soccer, basketball. It's just a very busy lifestyle and we wouldn't have it any other way, but we are always trying to find ways to make it run a little bit smoother. And one of those things is having a drop zone in the garage, especially now that we've added football to our mix this year. We have always been a soccer. Oh, we also have track and cross country. But now we have football and the gear, I'm looking at it on the floor in my garage. The gear for football is a lot, you guys. The helmet and the pads, and it's just a lot. So I wanted to create a space where my kiddos could just dump and go, and where they could put their things the night before so that they were packed and ready to go for the next day. Because we leave really, really early. We are out of this house, all 7 of us, by 6:20 every single morning. So it's busy. It's busy. So Danny built this for me and I'm really excited about it. Today we're gonna be finishing it up. We're gonna be painting it, putting in hooks, getting the bins for underneath all set up. And I have a vision for having a calendar space, like a schedule space above each space so that the kiddos know what they have going on, especially because this year my senior daughter also is working. She is a working CNA, and so she needs to know when she's got that going on as well. So it's just a lot of people, a lot of schedules, a lot of activities, and just trying to find ways to make it a little bit more organized. So this is what we're gonna be working on. I did not film Danny building this. And maybe if I had, I don't actually remember. I may have, but it was so long ago that I don't know where that footage is. So I'm gonna walk you over there. I'm gonna show you what he built. He did use some leftover beadboard, which is super fun. That's what actually sparked the idea. Originally, we thought we were gonna do something on this wall over here, but we're gonna do something different with this space over here. And I may or may not end up doing it in this video. I'm not sure, with this wall right here where the shelf is, having a peg rail there for, wet raincoats and that kind of thing instead of bringing them into the house. So we'll see. It may not be this video. That may end up in a future video. I don't know. I am rocking my Tupac shirt today for painting, which is kind of funny. I also have all kinds of stuff on the floor, so I'm just a mess today. But let me show you what Danny built. We're gonna get this thing painted, get it organized, and get us ready for the new school year. I can't believe the summer is rapidly coming to an end. I also just want to mention that it's going to be very hot today. So there's that. Okay, so here is the space that I was talking to you about that Danny built. So we've got 5 cubbies on the bottom for the kiddos. He made them 12. The inside is 12 inches wide. I think it's by 16 inches deep. Enough to fit one of these cubes. That's what he used as a measurement. I have new ones coming in from Amazon today, and he just did a flat board on the top to give us a bench, and then he even added these pieces in the front to make it look a little bit more finished, and then like I said, this piece here on the back is leftover beadboard from when we did our peg rail in the family room, and then he just framed it out with these pieces here, which are probably, I don't know, a 1x2, 2x1. And we are not going to be doing anything to finish this. I might just have him, we might just caulk this. I think you already did caulk this. I just need to paint it. But we're not going to be doing anything. I'm not going to go in and like fill the nail holes or the screws. We're not doing any of that because this is the garage and I'm not really that like, it's not that serious to me. I'm using existing paint that I already have. And we're just going to finish it off and get it done. Also, before we get started, I just want to mention two things. One, it's 1,000,000 degrees. It's supposed to be 87 today. And it is thick. The humidity is thick. So I should be sweating here in no time. I also wanted to just keep this as affordable as possible. Again, it's in the garage. I'm not looking for anything fancy schmancy. So I'm just looking for things to be affordable. So I'm using a special walnut stain that I already have. It's a tiny little sample. And we're gonna start by staining the bench.
To get us started today, we're going to grab some painter's tape. I'm just using green frog tape, and I'm going to tape the edges here of the backboard and along the bottom of the seat. That way when I'm staining, I'm not getting stain onto all the areas that I'm going to paint. That would make it very difficult to paint. I will say, working with painter's tape in this humidity was miserable. It was so pliable. It was not stiff at all. So trying to get it where I needed it was pretty difficult, but we're just going to tape this off and then we're going to go ahead and use an old rag to stain the top of this. And I think it turned out just beautifully.
Okay, so the top of this is stained and looking glorious. We will seal it with some polyacrylic in a little while after, well, maybe not in a little while, probably tomorrow morning, once we've allowed this to fully dry. The good thing is I only did one coat, and this is very porous wood. It's like totally unfinished wood. I didn't condition it or anything, so this should take no time to dry. However, we are just going to give it plenty of time, and then we're going to do some polyacrylic because this is outside and I just want it to be sealed. I don't want it to get like gross, and if the kids, spill water bottles or something on top of it, I just want it to, last. So now we will start with painting. I had to go inside and pull my hair up because it is 1,000 degrees outside. It's 87 today with like 1,000% humidity. So I'm dying, and I'm wondering why we never put fans in here.
For our paint today, we're going to be using Sherwin-Williams Simple White. I had actually got this thinking I would use this in my house since I wanted to get rid of the pale oak, and it was just way too close to the pale oak. It was actually almost identical, which was so interesting. Pale oak is the color in my home. It's a Benjamin Moore color, and it is technically a white, but it is very creamy and this is as well. So as you look at this color, it's almost identical to the color I have in my home. So just going to go ahead and use this. I already had it. I have such a problem with taking, paint back. You can, if it's something you don't like, you can take it back, and usually they'll refund part or all depending on where you buy it from. But I did end up keeping it, knowing that I would probably use it for a future project, and here we are. So I'm just using a small roller, and I put down a piece of plywood down on the bottom to protect what we had stained. I didn't want to get any fallout on there, so just going to take my time. This took me about an hour to paint everything, including the bottom, and using the small angled brush as well to get into all those areas up close to the bench. And it was finally coming together, looking so much better. I didn't sand anything, so it's definitely a rough piece, and I'm okay with that. As I mentioned, it's just here in the garage. It's going to get super beat up. In fact, I even considered painting this bottom part black, since I did have leftover of the cracked pepper, which is the color in our powder room. It's just a really beautiful creamy black, and I considered painting the bottom that color, and I may eventually do that if this gets too beat up from footprints and cleats and all that stuff. So we'll see. It's white for now, and I like how it turned out. It just felt very fresh, but it may end up being black.
So listen to me. If you guys do any work outside, get yourself one of these things. This is a little portable air conditioner. Hopefully it's not too loud. Probably is. How do I turn it off? Right here? Little portable air conditioner. It is phenomenal. It's technically Danny's. His coworker got it for him because his classroom in his school that he is at is too hot. So he brought it out for me to use, and now I've decided that we all need one of these before we go to Disney again, because it is literally like the gates of hell in Disney. It is so hot here. I had to pull my hair up. So I have got everything painted. I've got the top stained. This paint is taking 100 years to dry because it's so humid. So I'm actually gonna go inside and I'm gonna quickly do the polyurethane. I got the matte because I just want it to be, very just like not shiny. So I'm gonna put this on to the bench, and then I'm gonna call it quits out here. And we're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna go inside and work on other things just because it is way too hot. I'm gonna go seize the day and get in the pool with the kids and call it quits for a little while and let this dry, since it's gonna take so flippin' long. This is, and the paint out, just know that if you paint outside in this kind of humidity, it's like dripping, even if it's not like packed on too thick. It's just like, it can't like stick, it just drips. So, oh well, it's in the garage. I'm really not concerned about it. I just wanted you to know. So this is what Danny picked up for me to use, bare polyurethane in matte, and we'll go seal that up and then go inside where it's cool.
I'm using a small angled brush here to just brush on this matte finish here, and I will be honest, this did dry really quickly. I would say within an hour it was pretty much dry. We didn't touch it for another couple of hours and didn't put anything on top of it, but it looks so nice. Anytime you use any kind of top coat, it's going to alter the look of your stain, but I felt like this just really enhanced it, to be honest. This is such a warm stain and it looks really, really beautiful. And just adding this matte top coat was the perfect little finishing touch to make it nice and soft and protect it. Going inside, I went on to Etsy and I found this great printable. This is a weekly to-do list, and it had a little section in the corner that said "Don't forget," which I thought was perfect for reminding whoever it is of things that they need, projects with school, that kind of stuff. So I purchased it. I think it was around $3. I'll link it for you down below. And I printed it on white cardstock, and I took a quick trip down to the Dollar Tree and I found these great little picture frames. They were $1.25 and they were perfect. I wasn't super in love with the color, but I did want something that was going to give us a little bit of contrast. I did tell Danny I want him to build me a little shelf to go on top of that. So on top of this wall tree so that I could put a plant or something. And he just laughed at me, but I said we'd find some other functional reason for it besides just decor. But this is going to add a little bit of color and dimension above the wall tree. So I had to trim down all of the papers so that they would fit, and putting them inside the picture frame allowed for me to hang them easily and made them basically a laminated piece so that I could use a dry erase marker to write on these every week. I do have a laminator, so if you wanted to keep it extra simple, you could just use that and a push pin, and that would have worked perfectly fine. But this was just a little extra touch, and I think it looked really nice and finished off the space. Once I had them in the picture frame, I used my Brother P-Touch label maker to create labels for each one with my kiddos' names. Fun thing about this is that you can create fun little borders, and for this one I used one that looked like a notebook, and I felt like that just kind of matched the vibe that we were going with. Made one for every kiddo, put it across the top, and these were ready to be hung. If you don't have a label maker, you could absolutely just write on each one of these in permanent marker so that it didn't come off unless you scrubbed it, or you could just use your dry erase marker. That would be perfectly fine as well. You could also write directly on the paper underneath or type it onto the paper before you print it. Lots of different options, but I love this label maker and I use it literally almost every day, especially right now as we're preparing for back to school. I've been labeling everything and it's just been such a great little tool. All of my kids have wanted to label just about everything they own. Now it's time to go ahead and add our hooks. I picked up these oil rubbed bronze hooks from Home Depot. These are the same ones we have in our laundry room, and they're really affordable and easy to find. I do think they kind of look like a little octopus, which is kind of fun. And I am just working with Danny here to measure out the space and make sure that we have them equally spaced. They did end up being pretty close to the center of each one of the bins underneath, but my goal was really to make sure that they were evenly spread across this top portion here, starting from the middle out, and I figured everything else would work itself out. So we're just screwing those in, adding back our faceplate here to our plug, and then we're going to hang up all of those to-do lists that we prepared inside. Finally, we're going to add in our storage bins. I picked these up on Amazon. They were really affordable. They came in a pack of 6, which is always great for me. I need 5 and most come in 4. So instead of having to buy 2 packs of 4, I was able to find one of 6. And I wanted a dark color. I knew that these would be getting dirty. They were going to have cleats and boots and that kind of thing in them. So didn't want anything light colored. And I loved that these had the little faux leather handle as a great little detail. Our final touch today is this great medallion rug from Walmart for a cozy touch, and I love how this turned out.
Okay, you guys, it's finally done. The sun is setting, so please pardon my shadow. I'm trying to stay out of the shot, but holy cow, you guys. I love how this turned out. Oh my goodness, I love that Walmart rug. Like, it is gorgeous, and it was super affordable. It's $25, and it's gorgeous. It will flatten out and loosen up, but I just love how this all turned out. The little weekly schedules are perfect. Sorry for the shadow. They're perfect. Everything just looks fantastic, and what a great little affordable project to now have here by the door into our home. We'll be able to have this drop zone for the kids all school year long. They'll know where they're supposed to be. This is going to be so perfect. And sorry for the screaming. My teenager is literally in his room right above us, but this is so perfect, you guys. I love how this turned out. I'm so proud of my husband for putting this together and making this from scratch. And this is going to be just such a lifesaver all school year long.
That's going to bring us to the end of this video, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this video gave you inspiration to create an effective drop zone in your area that's going to help with some organization and create just a sense of peace. If you enjoyed today's video, I would love for you to consider giving it a big thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, my friends.